Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, voice girl, and welcome once again to another edition of the Manspace Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ, and with me, as always, is my co-host who had to go rushing back out to the store because he ate up all his beans and bologna.
That's my favorite song. You had a remix on that.
Yeah, man.
Beans and bologna. Please come home.
Oh, man.
Hey, that's my jam right there, boy. Beans and bologna. That came from his heart.
But have you seen him? He was singing Jodeci in one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man. Yeah, he's killing it, dog. They got him doing everything. He's doing Killing Me Softly and everything.
Bruh, if he had about 6 more teeth, he'd be mother. Just 6, bro. Just 6.
Just 6.
Just
man.
6. My man would be on tour. You hear me? Beans and bologna, boy. They got a remix that somebody done put some scratching in and some all types of stuff. I was like, what? You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and download this and send it to my brother, to my people. Baby, come home. Right. I got beans and bologna.
That's when you seriously, your game is real strong. If your woman gonna come home for some beans and bologna, bro, your game is some serious strong.
Well, hold on, bro. His game, he had bar S bologna. not no name brand.
Not Oscar Mayer.
Not Oscar Mayer. This joker had bar S. You know where you get bar S stuff from? The dollar store and the convenience store.
Hey,
he doing the best with what he got, baby.
He doing it. He doing it. Make it work, right?
Hey, make it work.
Got to be prepared for everything. Got to be prepared for everything. Make it work.
I got
make it work for
and bologna.
So, bruh, let me tell you, man.
Yeah, man.
So, since the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been slack. I don't really like people. I don't deal with people like that.
You didn't like people before the pandemic, so don't lie.
I didn't.
Don't lie.
I didn't. But I got comfortable being at home, right? So I wasn't. I got slack. I wasn't. Working out, going to the gym, doing all that other stuff. I was like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm working from home. I'm doing everything from home. Mm-hmm. I'm perfectly fine being in the house. Yeah. Good. I don't need to go out.
But
I think the wife tried to drop me a little hint the other day. Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, bruh.
That's hilarious.
I came home.
Yeah.
And I came into my little office, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why dang?
Oh,
shake weight.
She got a shake weight for you.
Sitting on my couch here in my little office.
That's disrespectful.
I'm like, straight disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I saw the South Park episodes. I seen the Saturday Night Live skits. I can't use that.
Boy, please don't take that out the box and let me see you with it. But I don't know. You might not like me after that one.
So I went to go see. I went to go see one of my clients, right?
Yeah.
And client was running late, and so I'm just kind of like waiting around. And there was like a little thrift store next to him, right? So I went up in there.
Yeah.
Why they had the men's version of the shake weight up in there?
Oh no!
Yeah, bro.
Oh no! Did you buy it?
I did. I'm gonna keep it out here, but it's
do it horizontally.
Yeah.
Don't do it vertically.
Yeah, no, I can't look at it.
It lights up. You got to look at it. Do that again.
No, bro. We're done. We're done. Not gonna make a meme out of me with that.
Well, I try to tell you, you might be a whole lot of stuff, but I can't call you dumb because I was about to get you. I was showed up by the boyfriend. I swear.
I know, Rick.
I swear.
I know.
Now imagine something.
Mm-hmm.
If she would have went into her home office and she found a shake weight.
I know, right?
Oh,
I know.
My God. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'd have to send you some flowers to the hospital.
Ooh. Manspace Nation, I want to know, fellas, would you ever give, especially if she didn't ask for it? No. Like if she asked for like certain like workout materials or stuff, some workout gear, equipment. If she asked for it, that's one thing. But if she didn't ask for it, would you give it to her?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I won some of those, like lightweight dumbbells, the 10 pound, 5 pound, 2.5 pound. They were in my trunk for almost a year. Because I refused to just take them in the house and be like, here, babe, look what I got.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. But what I did was as soon as she said, oh, I could use some weights, baby, you know what? I got you.
Yeah, there you go. Bam. Instant. You see, that works.
I was like, baby, I got you. 2 days later, man, I had to go get a new box, put them all in the new box. You know what I mean? They put it in there, then I brought them in. Here you go, love.
Yeah.
Now all I need is this. Well, let's go to the academy and let's get it. But I had to wait till I had to wait in the trunk for about a year. And I can't lie to her. She was like, well, where you get these? And I was like, man, why you ask so many questions? Just say thank you.
Right. Just thank you and move on.
It was like I won them about a year ago and I traded something for those and I was gonna give them to you, but I couldn't find the right time to give them to you. So now it's the right time. And she was like, oh, okay. That's cool. I'm glad you didn't just try to give them to me. I know I ain't stupid. I know who I married. Right. I know who I married. Well, she gonna tell me today. This was today. She says, she says, you look like you losing a little weight around your hips. You slimming up. She said, but that belly.
Okay.
She said, but that belly. But that belly. I said, that belly what?
You still eating on that beans and bologna. That's
right. I got beans and bologna. You ain't cooking, girl. Then I couldn't say all of that. I was just like, yeah, babe, I'm just, just working on it. I'm working on it. It's just taking a little bit more time. But I'm still in there.
Hey, let her know. Let her know. Good things come to those who wait.
That's right. What they say. No, I can't say that on the Manspace. I'm not gonna say
that. We're a family show. We're a family show.
But it got something to do with I can't even go there. I'm gonna leave it alone.
So let me ask you real quick, man, because Saturday was coming through. And my wife and I went out to breakfast and went and did a little shopping, and I was rushing because you know how you get to that point where breakfast start to kick in. You got like minutes to spare, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to rush up out of there, right? But out the corner of my eye, remember I was telling you about the homeless man I saw last week, right?
Yeah.
That if I gave him the food. Those that didn't hear that episode, homeless man was asking for some money to for some food, and I was like, hey, I'll buy you something to eat. But at that point, a police officer comes and arrests him, and then he comes back to me and says, hey, if you want to give him some food, that's cool. We won't take him to jail if you want to buy him some food. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna buy him some food so he didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
So we're leaving out, and I'm rushing at this point, but out the corner of my eye, I see the man sitting on the ground out in front of a department store.
Yeah,
and he's
same
just sitting
place.
there.
Well, not the same place, but the same guy. Yeah, right.
Same guy near the same area.
Right.
Just a little bit further down, but he's just in front of the department store, just sitting there on the ground, not bothering nobody. And I'm just like, man. And so now I'm starting to think like, maybe I should have let him go to jail, because he could have gotten, a shower, could have gotten food,
Jail,
but I just
ain't no place for nobody, man.
Right.
I'd rather see him free and stinky than in jail with a bar of soap. It's
man. It's sad on me, man, because I like, now I started to question, did I make the right move, for that brief moment,
Well, here's the thing though. You made the best move for you at that time, which is the right move. Now, whether he did what he was supposed to do,
right,
it's different. The moves that he made put him in the place that he's in. There could have been some, some other circumstances.
Right. And that's the thing.
We the situation.
We don't know the story, behind it. And I'm just so, I guess, kind of disturbed by it. It's not sitting right with me. Yeah. Like I feel like tomorrow I want to go back over that way to see if I see him again.
Well, how about you do this? Instead of getting it from an eagle eye, go and talk to the man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Go talk to him.
Go talk to him. Go
try to get him over to a shelter or something. Something someone that can help him.
Listen, but trust and believe. He know where all the shelters are. He knows. He knows what he needs to do to get help. Whether or not he wants it.
That's true. That's true.
Another situation, right? You can't force your will on him.
That is true.
Let him. He has to make that decision of what he wants to do.
Right.
So you can't.
You can lead somebody to water, but you can't force them to drink. Right.
That's right, man. That's right. And I'm not saying that my man don't have somebody in his corner or whatever the case may be. It's just it could just be where he wants to be. I knew a guy from a well-to-do family. Mother drove nice cars, wore minks in the wintertime, whole 9 yards. He chose to be in that situation. Not because he didn't have a place to lay his head, or to do better. He chose that situation, and you never know why they choose that situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't feel bad because of what somebody else doesn't want for themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Regardless of the situation.
That's true. That is true.
They made a
choice. And a lot of times, with situations, it's about being prepared, and
that's true.
That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about being prepared financially for this upcoming tax season. Now, yeah, I know. Talk about beans and bologna. That's what the IRS trying to leave you with.
That's what I'm going to be eating.
Beans and bologna.
I ain't gonna get no bologna.
Bruh.
I'm gonna be straight beaning it.
But our guest today, he was on the show a little over a year ago, and I said it then and I'll say it again. I wasn't blessed with biological brothers, but I got two of mine on with me today. One, my brother Les, and the other one, my friend from, gosh, man, I've known him since like the 9th grade.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to Man Space Nation, Mr. Saafir Malik. What's up, bro? What's up, man?
Appreciate it.
Welcome back to the show. So last time you were on the show, we talked candidly about your struggles with prostate cancer and everything. So how is your health today?
So right as of now, it's I'm cancer free.
Congratulations.
Amen.
So
Congratulations.
I've had my PSA done several times, and so my levels are back to normal. One of the side effects, I will say this, is now I was having an issue with low testosterone, and so we didn't know what it was at first, as far as myself, my wife, dealing with the doctors. I just knew I was having mood swings. I knew that I was like severely depressed and just tired. And so we went in and we did a test. We did a testosterone test on me. And so my doctor, when we got the results, he said, "Yeah, yours is like a 1.5 or something like that." And I said, "Oh, that's pretty good." And he was like, "No, that's bad."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, "That's bad." I said, "Oh, for real?" So he was like, "Yeah, your levels are like really, really low, And I said, "Oh, okay." He said, "That's why you've been having the mood swings, the depression, and everything." And so now we started testosterone therapy. So now I'm taking the shots.
Okay.
And I'm a pretty brave dude, but I will tell y'all, man, when I saw the size of the needle,
oh God.
I said, hey, I said, well, y'all want me to stick these? I said, y'all got the wrong cancer. These some horse needles here, man. No, Mr. Malik, no, these needles that you got to shoot yourself with. I said, who gonna shoot me? I said, no, man,
Yeah.
So finally got over it, and I, like I said, I took my first shot Tuesday. So
okay.
Once I get over the needles, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
We're just gonna see how that gonna go. But yeah, I probably lost some.
Yeah.
Well, that's a brave man right there. Cause I'm
man.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know, boy.
I know, because before you hopped in with us, Saafir and I were talking, because I was telling him I went through the low T syndrome as well too, because I took, I was addicted to melatonin, and I would use that every night to sleep. Well, one of the things of melatonin, it will strip you of your testosterone.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, melatonin was excessive amounts of melatonin, and I was using excessive amounts every night. Will strip you of it will raise the estrogen levels and strip you of your testosterone. So I had low T. And so I had to go through and do the testosterone treatments myself. And so I was doing the cream, and I didn't do the shots. I did the cream, and like it shot my levels like way up. Like, whoa, bruh, because I mean, I was about to turn into the Hulk from that stuff, man. I was angry, and so they had to back me up
too, man. Sorry. I don't know. I'm gonna get tested, because be honest though, I was gonna make a joke, but honestly, I think men, 45 and up should go get checked anyway. I think it's it's
absolutely.
They don't say it's recommended, but I think about 45 and up, you need to probably get tested, because that's when you start getting man boobs and stuff like that. Unless you just been fat like me all of your life, you got man boobs. Period. I just happen to have a little bit of muscle behind mine. They was deceived.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? That's called Popeye chicken and White Castles, and you know what I mean. But that's a whole nother story. We'll go into that. We'll go to that bad food.
White Castle just run right through you. It don't stay with you. It just run through you.
Hey man, don't talk about. That's a fine dining restaurant, bro. That's Whitey Costelli's.
See, I got my brother with me. I got my brother Saafir with me, and he know that Crystal's is superior to White Castle.
No, he don't.
Story. He know it.
He don't. He don't know that. He don't know that. He don't know that. We not even gonna go there, man. But Saafir, man, ignore our other brother for a minute, man. Now I know you mentioned something. What's the PST? Is that what it is? PSA. So with that PSA, do you still have to go for other cancer screens, and how often do you do that, or what's that like?
So I did that. I also went in and I had my primary care physician. She wanted to recommend that I do a colon cancer, colonoscopy.
Got it. Yeah.
And so, because she was saying that was also like another cancer that it kind of sneaks up on you. And so I said, well, listen here. I said, I already had one scare. So whatever we need to do, let's go ahead and do it. So I went in, scheduled that, and I had a colonoscopy done. And so, everything came back, no cancer, anything like that,
Awesome.
So, my next one, I'm so paranoid now. So now my urologist will recommend that I get screened for testicular cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what is the process for that? Because I'm like, hold up now.
They talk real high when they do it.
So you got a couple ways. You got a couple of ways that what you can do. So primarily, you can do them yourself. You actually, you can actually, grab your testicles and feel around. You basically feel it for any like lumps.
Okay.
And so that's the primary way. If you feel any lumps in your testicles, I'm so paranoid. I said, well, doc, I don't really trust myself for real because I don't know what I may be feeling.
Right.
So, we're going to go through and we're going to do like an MRI also, and where they take, that area.
Right.
And so I will share this with the, back to the prostate cancer. One of the side effects that I've been experiencing besides the low T is the buildup of scar tissue.
Yeah.
And so what happened is that they call it a bottleneck. And basically what it is, you have scar tissue that covers your urethra.
Right.
And so you may go to urinate and find out you can't pee.
Right.
I've had that to happen to me twice. And so I got to, go to the emergency room and they literally catheter you while you sitting up. I mean, yeah. Okay. Been there, done that. Yeah. It's either that or your stomach is, growing because
because you're full of
you can't urinate.
Yeah. And then become septic and then get sick.
So I go and get what it's called a laparoscopic screening, and they take a camera about the size of a catheter and they stick it in your pee hole. They put some nut cream.
I'm about to pass out.
So you sitting up there and they pushing this tube up in you, and they have the monitor in there, so you can actually look. I wasn't looking while they were doing because I was too busy hollering with my eyes closed. But and you can literally see up in your bladder, urethra, and everything because it's a camera on it. So I have to have, I normally go and do those screenings like every 3 months because of the scar tissue, and I don't want a blockage. So so I have to do that to make sure I don't have a blockage. Because the worst thing, like I say, man, you waking up at 2:00 in the morning to urinate, which is what happened to me, and I literally couldn't urinate.
Right.
So I mean, the good thing I said, I am cancer free. Now it's just dealing with the side effects.
Right.
Well, wow. That's a lot, man.
He wouldn't have put you through it if you couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I tell myself.
Yeah, he wouldn't have put you through it if you couldn't handle it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because your man would be laid out in the front yard. You hear me?
Right.
So I'd be laid out in the front yard.
I like to relate stuff to football, and as you see my Bama stuff back behind me. So one of the things like Coach Saban does, right? He picks and chooses which players he's going to chew out, right? And what he does is he chews out the ones that he knows can take it. He's delivering a message to everybody else, but he knows that this one can take the punishment I'm about to dish out to him. So Saafir's, he can handle, he's tough enough to handle what he's going through, but his story is a message and warning for all of us to, hey, you know,
absolutely. Hey,
get checked.
Go get checked.
Make sure that you getting checked. We're going to take a break and reset and get into some finances, man. So we'll be right back with more of the ManSpace podcast right after this. Welcome back with more of the ManSpace podcast. This is Russ. We got Les and our special guest, Mr. Saafir Malik. And now we got to get into some little financial talk, because one of the things that we did not do last time was actually talk about your actual job. You know, we got so wrapped into everything as far as your health was going and your prostate screenings and everything. Now, you know, we actually want to talk into, because you're actual CPA.
Yeah.
And so we want to get the ManSpace Nation up to speed, because tax time is coming up real soon, you know, and it's about to be your busy season. So I'm like, we got it. That's why we want to squeeze this interview in before we actually got to your busy period.
Oh man.
Yeah. We went to talk to all them people with them PPP loan.
Yeah. They should have got the bail money.
Yeah. They bail money. For real. But Saafir, let me ask you this. Every year it seems like the IRS keeps just making changes to the tax codes, and it jacks the little people. Can you just, briefly explain some of the key changes in the tax law that individuals should be aware of in this upcoming season? What's new that they got to deal with?
I'm gonna start it off with this.
Mm-hmm.
When you say the little people or the individuals,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be just as candid and as honestly as I can be.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to a group of students last week, kind of the same format.
Mm-hmm.
And the question came up, why is it that, the IRS always seem like they jacking the little people and things like that, or, they just, little people just don't get no tax breaks.
Right.
My response is this. The United States tax code was not designed for the working man and woman.
Mm-hmm.
That is why they bear the burden of this country in regards to tax. They pay the highest amount in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just simply not designed for the working man and woman, getting a W-2, you going on it's just not designed. Basically, those individuals are the burden bearers, honestly.
Right.
So one of the things, I'm going to get into some of the changes that the IRS is implementing, and it's really kind of no real major changes from an individual standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they always increase the standard deduction. So it's going from $12,500 this year to $13,850 for single people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's going from $25,200 to $27,700 for married couples. And it's going to $20,000. I want to say $20,500 for people claiming head of household.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get less and less money for donating monies to charity. Because they're really trying to phase that out, to be honest.
Wow.
And so also, as it has been for the past recent, I want to say 3 to 4 years, your refunds are going to be smaller.
Oh, yeah.
The reason being is that when we go back and we look at the lack of, remember when they were doing all these stimulus payments and they were doing all this, sending your money to you in the middle of the year, all these recovery rebates and all of that.
Yeah.
To me, that's the worst thing they could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of those people still had to end up paying that stuff back.
Yeah.
When they filed their taxes.
Yeah.
They don't give you nothing for free.
Nothing. Nothing. And they got some more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, the biggest thing I've been telling clients now is you need to start you a business. I don't care what kind it is. In order for you to take advantage of the tax code in this tax system, you have to start you a business. Prime example, when Donald Trump took office, he eliminated the form 2106. 2106 was a form that you could use for employee reimbursed expenses. If you was working and had a job and you was using your cell phone, or you was just certain things your employer required you to do.
Right.
And, and it was, it was coming out of your pocket, then you could use that form to reimburse yourself.
Right.
Your taxes. But Donald Trump eliminated that. He also eliminated, as far as with nurses, lawyers, any licensed individuals where you could claim your license as attached to them. He eliminated
right.
That.
Wow.
What good did that do?
Huh?
I mean, I'm just saying, what good did that do? What do I'm sure it hurt some people. That it did.
Okay. Because what he did was he lowered the corporate tax rate. The corporate tax rate was like 28%, I think. He lowered it to a flat 20% for corporations. So in order for him to do that, he had to take something away from somewhere
to get that extra
that
5 cents back.
Yeah.
It's always a give and take, and you take from
exactly. And most of the time, they're going to give to the business owners.
Yeah,
they're going to give to the investors, and they're going to take from the middle class or the working class.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question about that. Just a quick follow-up question.
Okay.
So you said for get you a business. So we in the fourth quarter, right? And just say somebody makes over 70 grand, a year, $80,000 a year. Can they still take advantage of opening a business in this last quarter and getting the write-offs for it, or getting some help in the upcoming tax season?
Let me give you this answer. The difference between tax planning and tax preparation is December 31st.
Okay.
So you have up until December 31st. If you start the business November the 1st and you incur costs, you still within that time frame to take advantage of your filing costs, take advantage of any expenses you incurred, as long as it's before December 31st.
Wow.
To answer your question, yes.
Yes. So it's advantageous, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been saying it for years.
Yep. For you to go out here and get you a LLC or something. You really don't need do you really need an LLC, or do you just need I guess you be registered and
like a sole proprietor? I always recommend
or DBA.
LLC.
Okay.
Here's the reason why. Now we're talking about the issue of liability. So the LLC separates you from your business. So if something happens, then you're actually covered. They can't get your personal stuff.
Right. Okay.
So it just protects your personal assets from your business asset. Okay. Also, when we're dealing with a debt, let's say that your business has a lot of debt. That's the business debt.
Right. We all know personal debt.
Exactly. We all know cases where individuals have started a business, the business went bankrupt, then they went right across the street and set up another business.
Right.
And it's like, how can they do that? Well, that debt is attached to a employee identification number that are your social. The business is closed.
Right.
So you get a new tax ID number, new business. It's just basically like you have a fresh start.
Amen.
Wow.
People with bad credit, go start a business and use your EIN.
Yeah. But that's a true tax strategy for real.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
So what do you see as some of the most common tax mistakes that people, don't take advantage of, things that they could be getting discounts and deductions for that they commonly overlook?
I'm going to say, if we're looking at it from an individual standpoint, or we're looking at it from a business standpoint. Because if we're looking at it from an individual standpoint, there's not really too much tax planning you can do. You can only give so much in charity. You can only claim the interest of your house for so long. And the way that they keep raising these standard deductions, eventually what's going to happen is that it's going to hurt the mortgage industry or the housing industry. And people say, well, Saafir, why do you say that? Most people, when they buy homes, the biggest thing they want to be able to do is to deduct their mortgage interest.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if I keep raising the standard deduction so high, I can't claim my mortgage interest.
Right.
That's gonna
be higher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So most people are incentivized. Hey, let's go buy a home. I can get the tax write-off. Well, every year they're raising standard deductions higher and higher, especially if you're married.
Yeah.
And even with the charity, they're trying to eliminate that. That's why you get less and less money, truthfully, for donating things to charity. So the only advantageous thing that I see is start you a business. Start you a business. I don't care if it's cutting grass or whatever. The reason why I say that, I educate my clients on try to take as many as your personal expenses and try to convert them over to business expenses. So I teach this concept called changing the dynamics of your situation or changing the facts of your situation. Here's what I mean by that. Okay. If you have children, you're paying a cell phone bill for your children. You're paying expenses for your children. You're not going to get that money back because you're doing it for your children.
Right.
You start an LLC and you put your children on the board as board members or members of your LLC.
And give them cell phones and write them
Give them cell phones. So now you're paying a cell phone for one of your board members. It becomes a legitimate business expense. You have a child in private school. The IRS does not give tax deductions for people got their kids in private school. Make your kid a board member of your company. The IRS says you can pay your child $12,000 a year, tax-free money, and you still get the write-off. Yeah. Take that $12,000, set up a retirement account, set up a Roth IRA for your child through the business. You're doing two things. You're paying into a retirement account, which is counted as an employee benefit, so you get the write-off for that. Let's say your child is in private school. You're no longer paying tuition for your child. You're paying tuition for one of your board members or one of your employees, and now it becomes an education expense. They say, Saafir, you're lying. You can't do that. When I was working in Birmingham, which is about 90 miles from Montgomery, the company that I was working for, they say, hey, we'll pay for you to get a master's degree in accounting if you agree to work with us, work for the company another 3 years. Yes, sir, I'll do that.
Right.
Right.
So they were getting the tax write-off for me by allowing me to go to school. You can do the same thing for your children. That's why I say change the dynamics of your situation.
Well, see, this conversation is wow. It's so needed in our community.
Exactly.
Because these are things that you go to college. Yeah, we don't know. You go to college, and the first thing they do is I forgot the brother's name is on all over there at social media. He'll tell you they'll give you a loan to go to college.
Yep.
Credit cards.
Yep.
A loan to buy a car.
But
won't give you a loan to buy a house.
Yep.
Why is that? Because the debt of the things that go into school and all of that interest and all that money comes right back into you can't capitalize on that on those things.
You can't.
But the government capitalizes on those things.
Exactly.
This conversation is so much deeper.
Yeah. Little Russ is 23 now. Is there like a cutoff limit, like you do with health benefits? 25.
No, not at all. True story. I got a client guy named Mark. Mark is an attorney. Mark got 3 kids, and so Mark says, "Hey, Saafir, I got my kids, and I'm always doing stuff for them, and I just need to try to figure out something that I can do." I said, cool. I said, you got your company? He said, yeah. He said, I got one son, up in Utah. I got another one, he's in Boston. And, I got another one. I think he's in Midwest or somewhere, Oklahoma somewhere. He said, the one in Utah, he's out there, and I want to be able to go out there and see him and help him out with real estate. I said, well, Mark, I tell you what. I said, your mother-in-law stays in Utah, right? He says, yeah. I said, okay. I said, are there any vacant properties in your mother-in-law neighborhood? He said, yeah, matter of fact, there's a house right next to it. I said, buy that house. He said, why would I do that? I said, buy that house. I said, you buy that house. I said, your son is in there. And I said, what you do is now you got a rental property. Your son is on your board. We add your son to your board of directors of your company. Now you're providing corporate housing for your son.
All right.
I said, then guess what? When you go to see your mother-in-law and y'all just happen to have this big dinner every year in November when you go see her.
Right.
It was a whole tax write-off because now you're checking on your property, you're checking on your employee, and you get to have this dinner with your mother-in-law. Perfectly, totally legal.
See, it's just that the rules have to be the rules to this game are not on the back of the package.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Man,
you got to know somebody in the game to know these rules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I deal with this every day, all day. And what I tell people is, I'm a true what we call tax accountant.
Right.
Just like you got doctors that do different things. I specialize in tax. And so that's something that a lot of CPAs run from because the rules change so much.
Yeah.
But this is what I do I do tax year round.
Wow.
Tax planning, tax litigation. And so people pay me to help them develop tax plans and strategies. And you have to understand the rules. And when you understand the rules, then you can do what we call a very creative plan. And my biggest thing, I just change the facts of your situation. That's all I do.
Man.
Wow.
Man.
That's awesome, man.
We could stop this whole interview right now because the information that he's given us is just straight, just invaluable.
Just game.
I'm like dying to run downstairs. Like, get this information right now. Let's go do this right now.
Just straight game.
Oh man,
because this is so important for our community, right?
I agree.
It's because these are not the things that we were taught.
No,
not the things that we know. Not these. I mean, let's just be honest, right? A lot of people in our community are used to getting these huge income tax checks back.
I agree.
These huge income tax checks back, and they mess it up. 90 days later, whatever they bought, they ain't got no more.
Exactly. And I'm gonna be very candid when I say this.
Yeah.
Most of the people that get those huge checks back, they get what we call the earned income credit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you get for claiming, so many children, but your income has to be very low.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be very candid. Behind closed doors, the IRS refer to that credit as the poor man credit.
Of course. Of course.
And the theory behind it that you so poor that we're going to continue to pay you to be poor, pacify you, so that you have no type of incentive to try to even elevate your economic status or building wealth.
And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Right? Because after 90 days, they get that money March, February, then wait, they do a high interest loan on the money to get it the next day.
Yep, which I'm totally against that, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you wait a few days, you can get it with no interest, but they got to get it the next day.
Exactly.
So I understand some of that because you're in a situation where you hadn't had in so long, and now you got the carrot in front of you, and you can taste it. But if I sign this paper, I can eat this carrot tomorrow. I ain't got to wait 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So they suckered him in with that. Then you get a $10,000 check, then you got to pay $1,500 to even get it for them to print it out for you.
Exactly, that's true.
Then you got to go because you ain't got a bank account. You got to go to the little corner store,
Check
and they're gonna
cashing
get
place.
2% of that 8 of that, of that 7,800. They giving two more percent. By the time you finish cashing your check and getting it, you almost a half of what you had.
Yep.
Is it really worth it?
No.
But see, the financial mentals just aren't there. Either they're not listening, they don't, because there's plenty YouTube things out there that tell you about your money and what you can do with it and things like that. But I think a lot of these conversations come from at home too.
Yeah, I agree.
They need to start. They need to start in the basement, just like you know how to cook, black eyed peas and pinto beans, right? You got to stir them and cook them low so they don't stick to the bottom of that pot.
Exactly.
That same discipline you used in frying chicken and cooking pinto beans and making cornbread, you should be talking about financial situations as well.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. I don't know. It just gets kind of deep for me because, I had a similar situation to some of this. You know what I mean? Where my parents were actually, they did well, but we didn't talk about money like that.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
And they, you try to show your children, but without explanation of what you're doing, they don't know what you're doing.
That's true.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit.
Man.
This is a whole nother financial piece is crazy, man. That's all. In our community, it can be so much better. But we've got ourselves programmed to do a friend of mine's now, and I'll stop after this, but we talked about reparations, right? And if they gave everybody,
we'll be broke.
Yeah, I said everybody had a fresh pair of J's. All the stores would be out of Jordans. I said all that money, the reason they would do it is because they know 80% or more, it would go right back into the economy. Hence, right back into the government's pocket.
Exactly. Yep.
And you know what the government do in that response? Again, they would raise more interest rates on stuff. They would the taxes will go up. The interest rates are going to go up. So you're paying more for stuff that wouldn't cost this much because they want their money back.
Exactly.
It's a game. They're going to give it to you because they're going to get it right back.
Exactly.
Just like the PPP, the COVID, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Those all of those, it's coming right back to you. Coming right back to them.
Yep.
Because first thing we're going to do is go get fresh.
Let me
go ahead and knock a couple of these bills out. So we'll do that. We knock a couple bills out, get ourselves back on the right track, yada, yada, yada. But then, when you run down to that last 100, 200, 500, you got to make a hard decision. Do I go get me a, Michael Kors or Coach Purse or Marc Jacobs? Well, let me go ahead and, pay up a couple extra months on these bills.
Exactly.
Which shouldn't be a choice.
Right.
But
so you mentioned Trump eliminating some of the credits for like cell phone usage and things like that you used to be able to take advantage of. But like for guys like me, I work from home 90% of the time. I work from home. Right. What type of credits are there for people? Because ever since we had, the pandemic, more and more of the workforce has shifted to working from home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I agree with you. And here's my honest answer to you. Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I get this question a lot. Last year, this just past year, hey, Saafir, I'm working from home. Is there anything that I can do by me working from home? And my answer is there's nothing. I said, hey, when Trump went in and eliminated that, there's nothing.
Not even your internet. You can't even write off your internet.
Because when he did away with Form 2106, which is employee reimbursement expenses or employee expenses or employee business related expenses. Whichever title you want to go by, but it's still Form 2106. He killed that. There's nothing. Now, what I'm hoping, because tax laws are still being changed up until I want to say December. What I'm hoping is, and I've heard some things down the pipeline, but I just don't want to speak on it if it's not definitely.
Right.
But I am hoping that they do provide something for individuals who's been working from home. My wife works from home. So, I'm like, they need to do something because the power bill a little bit more higher now since
yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
So, but as of now, there's really nothing.
Wow.
That they have in place right now for that.
Yeah, there we go again.
Mentioning the power bill being high, like is it really a benefit for the credits that you get for the EVs and solar and stuff like? Is it even worth the credit benefits on your taxes to do it?
Well, it depends on your situation.
Okay.
I've had a couple of my physician clients. They went out and bought brand new Teslas.
Right.
And so they was like, well, Saafir, you get the benefits and all of this and that. So one of them, she bought her a Tesla. She bought her husband a Tesla. Prior to her coming to me, this is a young lady. She's about 33. She's a doctor. Her husband is an engineer. Humongous tax bill. I'm talking about they owing $23,000 a year.
Wow.
So I tell her, I said, listen, what you want to do, I said, let's put you a plan together. Let's set you up an LLC. You got 3 daughters. We're going to put your daughters on the board. Go out here and buy your property. So she bought a property, bought some farmland. And she said, with me being a doctor, I can now, since I have this Tesla, I said, you can lease that Tesla back to yourself if you want to. I said, there's a way to do that. So what ended up happening for that Tesla alone, she got an additional $7,500 credit that added to her refund when I prepared her test just by having an electric vehicle. Also, by implementing the tax strategies with the real estate and with her children, adding them and doing certain things, you go from owing $25,000 to now with good tax planning, I got you a refund of $32,000.
Wow.
Because with her being a doctor, she had a lot of withholdings coming out.
Yeah.
And so by implementing that plan, I'm like a best patient now,
Right.
So I think with that, it depends on your situation.
Right.
Got it.
So from an individual standpoint, what you have to weigh is, okay, if I'm going to spend $50,000 or $60,000 for this vehicle, I know I'm going to get $7,000 back in a credit. Where if you owe $22,000 and you get a credit back of $7,500, you still got to come out the pocket. What I'm saying? What about $15,000, $16,000? So
right.
Yeah.
Versus if you're getting a refund of $10,000 or whatever, and then you get an additional $7,500, now you got $17,500.
Yeah.
So that depends on your situation.
Yeah. Got it.
That's dope.
Man, that is. Man, there's so much more that I think we want to ask.
10 more questions.
I know. we might have to have a part 2 to this, man.
I think we should, man. Let's put him back on the calendar 1 week when he available.
We're gonna talk and we're gonna get back on your schedule because, man,
I got
we
crypto
got
questions.
So many jewels out of this, man, and really. It's knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Feeding yourself with knowledge. And if you don't know, right, what can you do if you don't know? You got to have the knowledge to prepare yourself to be out in this world, man. Thank you so much, Saafir, for all of this information. If people want to get a hold of you, get more about your business and everything else, and learn more from you, how can they reach out? How can they find out more about you?
They can go to www.jonesaccountinggroup.com. They can also contact me, area code 334-517-1029. You can also email me at jagaccting@gmail.com. So, I can be reached. I am on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook, Jones Accounting Group on Facebook, as well as Instagram and TikTok. So, you can find me. And a lot of times I do answer questions on those, platforms. So, and there's no such thing as a crazy question, and so I just, my goal is to educate individuals, because at the end of the day, no one, this system is just not designed for the working man and woman.
Absolutely.
So we can kill that notion that, hey, what can I do? I tell people, if you got a W-2 and you working a job, there's no tax planning that I could do for you, because you have to get in that arena of being a business owner. And don't mean that you got to have a big multi-level corporation or anything. I don't care if it's selling lemonade. If you selling lemonade, you qualify. Now you change the dynamics of your situation.
Wow,
man!
Absolutely
you hear
powerful.
Me? You
Absolutely
hear me?
Powerful.
Oh man,
Space Nation, I
chills,
really hope
man.
y'all got some information off this one. And let me ask you one last question, Saafir.
Mm-hmm.
Do you work outside of Alabama?
Yes. So here's how I do that. I have 2 licenses. Of course, my CPA, which is just limited to Alabama, because that's a state license. But I also have another license, which is known as an EA, or enrolled agent, with the IRS. So I'm licensed by the IRS to practice in all 50 states.
Okay.
So, and I do have clients right now in about 13 different states. About 13. Boston, New York, California. About 13 different states that I serve.
You hear that, man, Space Nation? Y'all need to be hitting them up.
He nationwide. He nationwide. He on your side. Taxes.
hey, copyright infringement, Les. Hold on, now. He's going too far. He going too far.
I said he on their side, not we on his side. But anyway,
we're gonna take a break. Thanks, Saafir. Thank you so much for joining.
Oh man, I appreciate being here, man. I really do.
Man. We really do. We're gonna reach out some more, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
As we do each week, we like to close the show with just a little bit of inspiration. See, being prepared is a compass that guides us through life's uncertain terrain. It's the embodiment of determination, and it's a testament to our commitment toward success. See, we're prepared. We are able to stand in the face of challenges, and we're able to look opportunities right in the eye with our arms just wide open. Preparedness instills within us confidence to navigate the unexpected and triumph over adversity. See, it's a constant reminder that we are the architects of our own destiny, ready to seize every moment and turn it into stepping stones toward our dreams. So, Man Space Nation, let me ask you, what are you waiting for? Let's get prepared, Man Space Nation, because greatness awaits.
Boy, I'm trying to tell you, they waited for me long enough. You see that? I just stepped to the mic. Hello, world. I'm greatness. And so are you. Amen, brother.
That's what I do, man.
I'm trying to tell you, man, today has fired me up. Everybody is great. You have greatness within you. Les Brown. Now, I gave him a shout out. Les Brown, you have greatness inside of you. all of you. Get it.
And on that note, Manspace Nation,
we out of here with greatness.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Manspace.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Manspace updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at ManspaceNat1.
Until next time, Manspace Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out
of here.